I'm gonna play some Slay the Spire with the Slay Eye, which is a machine learning model that is it is a machine learning model trained on some Slay the Spire runs, which attempts to predict how much damage you'll take in fights and how much damage different cards will save you or cost you if you draft them. That's my understanding. I don't know if it's just going to work or not. I didn't test to see if this worked yet, so let's like play a fight real quick and see if it's working. 5 mods. And if it's not working, I guess I'll like start troubleshooting it, and then if it doesn't work within like 5 minutes, I'll just give up. Here we go. Prediction. 3 damage. Actual. 0 damage. Do you think after the run, it gives a readout of how accurate it was? Hypnotoad. Thanks for the kind words as well, Banu. I wonder if it knows that we're playing on Ascension 20. I'm not sure how much this thing knows, you know? You know what I'm saying? Prediction 3 damage, actual 4 healed. So he did better than expected. Slay Eye claims that Perfected Strike is the clear best option here. Far better than Sword Boomerang. Miles better than Sword Boomerang. I could see myself taking Perfected Strike or Sword Boomerang. Probably I'd take Sword Boomerang because we have a Preserved Insect and a like fairly easy act. Yeah, I don't think I would take Perfected Strike over Sword Boomerang there. How's it going, everybody? Yeah, I'm not gonna be... Oh shit, look at that! Wait. It thinks that our deck would get significantly better by removing Bash. Whoa. What? So these numbers, the first number is how much health it expects, how much health difference it expects for this act, and the second number is how much health difference it expects for next act. Which doesn't actually speak at all to like act 3 or 4 right now, I guess, but whatever. Prediction, 0 damage. I think I'm gonna take 0 damage here. I guess that's because I heal, right? Probably that's because I heal at the end. Maybe. We'll see. Rectify thanks to 29 months. Bomusho to you as well. Do I intend to try shenanigans if the algorithm tells me to? Oh, absolutely. I'm just picking what the algorithm tells me I should. Shrug it off is sort of reasonable. I am confused why the game hates Blood for Blood so much. Two upgraded strikes. Ooh, baby. That's a little bit more like it. Company, dapper looking cheery gremlin. It's time to spin the wheel. Are you ready? Of course you are. Hey, we got a full heal. That's nice. Prediction, we will take 23 damage. Doesn't sound very good. I'm not sure how I can get out of this fight only taking 23 damage, honestly. I guess like that? This is 27 so far, but I heal for 6 at the end of the fight. Oh. Oh. Unlucky. Paper Frog and Strength Potion. I should upgrade Bash probably. The AI fucking hates Havoc and Headbutt. Holy shit, it hates them. It does not like those options at all. No scats for Skip. Skip would be a 0 because it doesn't change anything. Skip is like thoughts and prayers here. Prediction 3 healed. He actually took a 0. Unfortunate. The game wants cleave much more than it wants the other options, like uppercut and a bowl. The game looks like it's trying to build a deck which will do well this act and next act and will then die. That's the vibe that I'm getting. Super Elite or Campfire? Oh shit. Game very much would like me to upgrade Perfected Strike. Thinks Perfected Strike is by far the best upgrade. Eternal Feather, cool. Ooh. I wonder if it shows me stuff for every single thing in the shop. Gosh, I could just never think again. This is rad. Why doesn't it like upgrading Bash? I don't know. Be a gem thinks of the year. Mogbomo show to you too. Maybe I've been wrong this entire time and the Bash upgrade is actually atrocious. Holy shit, it fucking loves Iron Wave. Ah, yes. Iron Wave. My favorite card. What is going on here? Just let the AI stream. Sounds probably better. What's my upgrade game? You like the Defend upgrades or the Iron Wave upgrade? These are close, so I feel like I'm allowed to choose between either Defend or Iron Wave, huh? Let's go for Iron Wave. Did we crack Twitch Chat's code and put it in a program for backseat? Maybe. I'm learning things that I never knew about playing Ironclad. I had no idea. I had no idea. You just take Perfected Strike and then also take Iron Wave. Alright, so I guess this is a tricky one. We have to decide whether we want that clothesline for next act or not. I think we probably do. Is it possible the game wants me to smith defensive cards for a better Guardian fight? No, I don't think the game is that smart. I'm just gonna give you a hard no on that one. I'm taking a disarm and I'm taking a card remove, maybe. We want big green numbers. Oh, the game thinks I would benefit greatly from removing Disarm, which is unfortunately the card that I just fucking bought. The game thinks poorly of my decision to purchase Disarm, apparently. I'm sorry, game. Please, I hope that we can remain friends. What does it think about Pommel Strike? It also thinks Pommel Strike is one of the worst cards in my deck. Well, that's too bad. Okay, take a little bit of damage. Has been like somewhat accurate in the predictions of how much damage we're gonna take, but I feel like that's, oh, I don't know. I feel like the damage predictions are somewhat reasonable. I'll give it that. I'll give you that, robot. You're not hero. The game absolutely loves anger here. Anger is just the best thing ever, significantly better than Shockwave. Whirlwind, as we all know, an atrocious card which you should always skip. So the game thought it was +2 to remove Disarm from the deck and also thinks it's +3 to upgrade it. I'm not sure I quite understand how those two things can be consistent. Prediction 32 damage. I'm so stuck in my ways that I can't accept that the robot knows better. I guess so. That's Jorbs for you. Jorbs? Wasn't he good at Slay the Spire back in the 1800s before we had computers? I vaguely remember the name. Here is a picture of Jorbs standing next to the stack of code that he wrote in order to defeat the heart. Hey Randy Radish. Hey Astafa. Is Twitch chat better than the AI? We're not sure yet. We don't know. The AI really likes damage commons, which is actually like, I don't know. That's not all that unreasonable, really. Sort of should like damage commons with what it's being set up to do, it feels like, so that's sort of encouraging. Iron Wave Plus does not buff our Perfected Strike Plus, making it potentially the worst card in the deck right now. Well, I'm not sure how other people play this fight, but somehow the machine thinks that we were meant to take another 30 damage here. That doesn't seem right. It's actually better not to attack, right? We only take 2 this way. Liquid Bronze. Holy shit, it loves Immolate. Immolate's just the best card. Alright. Click on Immolate then. I'm on board. I'm on board, computer. Oh, it doesn't tell me which boss relic to take. I have to think. I don't want to have to think. Let's take Mark of Pain. I feel like Twitch chat would want to take Mark of Pain. Also, it seems sort of bad to transform strikes, and also I have several 2-cost cards. Immolate will hear me for 4 this act. Yeah, I noticed that. I'm not sure how it's going to do that, given that the act is now over already, but that's cool. Transform defends into strike cards. Maybe that's the play, you know? Maybe you're right. Jorbs is almost optimal plays. Get out. Plays are not close to optimal. This game's really hard. Smoke Bomb. Ooh, it likes Feel No Pain. Why? That's sort of interesting. I guess because Feel No Pain's a good card? Like, sure, okay. Because the data shows that people who take Feel No Pain are better at the games, they don't take as much damage. That's like my honest my honest leading theory on why I recommended Feel No Pain there. Duplicate a card in your deck. Oh, it doesn't understand this one. It's too bad. I'm gonna take another Disarm Plus though, I think. Well, skipping is 0-0. There's nothing it can say about skipping. Skipping doesn't change the deck, which means that it isn't gonna change how much damage the deck is expected to take. Oh. I think I could have just killed it that turn. Oops. Bot is not even playing the game for me. I know. I know. Alright, we're not sure that Perfected Strike is good anymore. There is some real ability to predict things going on in this robot. Could understand that Perfected Strike was good early and isn't good anymore. It's something, right? It also thinks I'm taking 18 damage against this snake plant when I have 2 Disarm Pluses in my deck. Which does not seem... Nope, don't think so. I also have a Tori? Like, what? How am I taking 18? Anyway, it obviously doesn't understand everything. Understand relics. Pretty sure it understands relics. I'm pretty sure it looks at them. Detect deck. It now thinks Shockwave is pretty good. Alright. Doesn't quite like Spot Weakness Plus. That's really interesting to me. Well, I will believe you, computer robot. Continue to carry me through this run. Ichusuke, thanks for the 16 months. I'll go to you as well. I don't know. I am not a developer of this mod. Was the AI created with beating the heart in mind? I don't know. I'm not a creator of this mod. It could be Filthy Robot. Doesn't sound impossible. Sassy Go Daddy. Is there an FAQ? I don't know. You could go look it up. You were watching me do this for the first time. I don't know everything about it. Inflame. Shockwave or hemokinesis? It likes hemokinesis way more than it should. Interesting that you didn't like Thought Weakness Plus, but does like Inflame. I guess I can like sort of see that. I don't know. I don't know if it understands that Collector is the act boss. I'm guessing that it doesn't. Imperial Wahilapada Hisoto. The mod's name is in the title. Yeah, Dreamy Pants. Trying to work out if I want 3 elites or 3 campfires, 2 elites. We go 3 elites, 1 campfire, or 3 campfires, 2 elites. We lose out on 1 relic, but we stay very, very, very safe, and we get 2 more upgrades. I don't know how great my upgrades are. They're like alright. I wonder what Slay Eye would have me do here. We need like a pathing algorithm as well, please. I don't want to have to think about this. Prediction 16 damage. Would be nice to only take 16 damage in this fight. I'm not sure that's happening. Wait, even with that turn 1, I still... Huh. Took 17. Well then. We want a Wild Strike Plus? We want a Wild Strike Plus. Alright. Okay, robot. You think that upgrading Immolate is terrible? You think that upgrading Shockwave is the best thing in the world? Alright. If I were to just attack this, I'm pretty sure that we kill. Not like this turn, but before next turn we kill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 12 with 2 shrugs. Yeah, we always kill next turn. Don't have to potion Hyokai. Potion is good. Thanks, Grady. Grady is presumably part of the bot. The bot has put someone in Twitch chat to tell me whether the potion is good or not. Alright, let's link the Medium article that the person who made this mod wrote so that people who want to know about it can read the article. Nope, can't find it. It was in the main thread in Discord. The numbers, Jorbs, what do they mean? Command slay I. Read more. That work? Command already exists. Oh, somebody already made that command for you. Why are you all? Why are you all asking me that? Alright. So we're meant to take an Iron Wave Plus, which is, as usual, the best card in the game. I don't know if I pick up Strike Dummy or not. I'm gonna say I do. And we go this way. It got made just now while I was looking for the link. A likely story. A likely story. Nah, I believe you. Maybe true. I don't think we need to use these potions. I don't know what fight these potions are like going to be useful in if I'm not using them in this one. But like, I guess they would have saved me 8 health. I don't know. Red Skull, I would have put myself at significantly above half health before picking up Red Skull. Would have been a terrible mistake. This robot hates dual wield. Oh no, I have to pick on my own. Oh, my only weakness, making my own decisions. I wonder how good Sword Boomerang is right now. Let's go for Pommel Strike Plus. This is terrible, you don't see another Iron Wave. Yeah. Yeah. But it is what it is, you know. Gosh, they deal so much damage now. Astav, thanks for the 20 months. I'll have more show to you too. Oh, baby. 1 Feel No Pain was fine, but 2 Feel No Pains? That's right out. That's ridiculous. Why would you need 2 of them when you already have 1? Whack! We dead or a little bit dead? Metal Leapin', thanks for the 4 months. Musho to you as well. Do my best. Do my best. Victory! Victory! Predicts less damage from this fight than last fight. Well, last fight was sort of lame, in fairness. We got a bird face turn, a shuriken. I'm sorry, you like bludgeon plus how much? Alright. The strongest bludgeon plus that the world has ever seen. Lodged. Ultimo dealer, hello. That is predicting Snecko Eye? Is that what? That's what's happening? Alright. Good to know. Good to know. I love that we just picked up a shuriken and then took a bludgeon as like a +3 health or whatever card. Okay. Okay. Here you go, Twitch chat. But you have Evolve. Wouldn't Mark of Pain be good? Mark of Pain plus Evolve. It'll be so strong. Finally, the advanced intelligence is here. So that I don't have to be the one to explain to you again that that isn't good. Finally. Oh, the gigantic like burden off my shoulders. Interesting that all of the neutral upgrades it thinks are +0.03, +0.04. Like there must be something in it that's just looking at how many cards are upgraded in your deck or something. I'll take the cleave over the pommel strike, I guess. Oh, maybe it doesn't have enough data to understand what the immolate upgrade does. Maybe, maybe that's why it doesn't like it. There's a prediction of 33 damage. It hasn't predicted that I'm going to die yet. But we all die eventually. Lodged. I'm not really sure why it doesn't think I'm going to die in this fight, but we'll see. Why is Evolve bad there? Evolve is a bad card. Mark of Pain is a bad relic. And when you have both of them, instead of having one bad thing, you have two. I should probably have drank this at the start of this turn instead of after I played my card. No! Robot, I've betrayed you, I'm sorry. I don't think we were ever winning that fight. I mean, probably I used the potion properly, it would have been closer, right? Probably would have been closer if I used the potion correctly. Anyway, whatever. Yes, the takeaway is that I should have let the robot drink my potions for me as well. I think that is a reasonable takeaway. For a run where we got pretty bad boss Shellick, I feel like that actually, like, I don't know, went sort of okay. Our deck was well built to survive Act 2, in my opinion. I don't know that our deck was very well built for killing the heart, but yeah. Art of War. The art of war. Enough disarms. I can't lose to the heart. I don't think the robot told me to take either of the disarms. I bought one and then I upgraded it, which the robot did tell me to do, and then I duplicated it. For the most part, that was me. Dodge and roll is okay for this act, and positive next act. I will just barely take it over skipping, I guess. Ooh, okay. A bit of a start. Wow. Only? Oh. I wonder how we could possibly only take 5 more damage from pain this act. That number does not seem high enough. Maybe that's like per fight this act? I could see that being per fight. It's per fight? Oh. Gotcha. Yeah, that seems somewhat reasonable then. Cloak and Dagger. The strongest card the world has ever seen. Probably not fighting any elites then, huh? Sort of the vibe that I'm getting. Cloak and Dagger is ruining Art of War. That's okay. It wasn't a very good book to begin with. The game desperately wants to upgrade Survivor or Dodge and Roll. Let's do it. Survivor is the best upgrade, apparently. Piercing Whale is bad. Well, prior to today, everybody thought it was very good. But today we learned something new about Slay the Spire, which is... Okay. Well, unexpected. I was wrong all along. I'm starting to question if I've ever played this game before. Jorbs. Thanks for the 3 months long promo show to YouTube. Prediction 11 damage. How does it think I'm only taking 11 damage here? That is incredible if it's true. I don't have the ability to kill them, like, ever. Yeah, but look at all of these defensive cards. Oh my gosh. I'm so powerful. They'd already take 13, but you know. And then I took another 10. Maximilian's going alright. It's hard to die from here. But we can die shortly after this, I think. Alrighty. Old coin. The game would like me to take a backflip or a dagger spray. I am just fascinated. I am fascinated at how the game thinks I am going to kill enemies if I take a backflip here. I will arrive in the Act 1 boss fight with, like, only my starting strikes. And a cloak and dagger. Also a terror. I'm gonna take the dagger spray. Transform a card. No opinions on what I should transform. I got an expertise. Can I kill this? Probably. When it attacks again there, I probably can kill it. Skip is 0. Skip doesn't change your deck, so it leaves your deck the same. Game wants blur! I will take it. I will take it as requested. It makes sense that it would want you to pick up defensive cards if the parameter is how much damage you take. It certainly would. Certainly would. Although I liked taking aggressive cards as Ironclad, for what it's worth. Also like taking Iron Wave plus a very large amount. Yeah, it's probably just looking at... Basically, it's overvaluing surviving hallway fights at high health and not considering that bosses and elites can just kill you, I think. I think that would be the general thing that's happening. Blur is a good upgrade. It has a problem where it's caring about average damage taken without realizing that the distribution of damage taken is important, and that taking a lot of damage can lose you the run. Like, you don't want to build a deck which takes 0 damage in lots of fights and 100 damage in one of the other fights, because when you take 100 damage you will die. You'd rather build a deck that takes 10 damage in every fight. Hey Walton! The runs basically eliminate backseating. I mean... do they? It did not take long for someone to tell me I should drink a potion in a situation where I shouldn't drink a potion. Let me tell you that. I tell you what. to see what the AI thinks of Claw. Card so beautiful that only a robot can truly appreciate it. I think I should try to deal more damage than that, but it's not very easy for me to deal more damage than that. All will be plus 1,000. That's quite a lot. Cool. Well, I dealt slightly more damage, I guess. I don't know. It predicts I'll take 28 damage here, which is fascinating to me. I bet there's a thing going on where you can't take more than lethal damage as well, right? So it like tries to average results, but when it takes lethal damage, like if you were at 50 at the start of the fight and then you take 50, it says that's a result where you took 50 damage instead of like extrapolating outward and being like, oh, you would probably have taken 170 damage here before winning or whatever. So then it gives you an average that's like always going to be above how much health you actually have. Because it, like if you ever win the fight, ever, if a deck like yours could ever win the slime boss fight based on the information it has, and it doesn't have enough information to say that a deck like yours couldn't ever win the slime boss fight because it's just not drawing conclusions powerfully enough to do that. I bet even if you gave it a deck with no attacks, it still would predict that you took less than lethal damage on average. Hey, Frozen Shepherd, it's going alright. Outputs were capped at -100 and +100 and divided by 100 to scale the output to a value between -1 and 1. It's a meme, right? You're not actually telling me something real about the thing. Okay, well, we didn't win, exactly. We took slightly more damage than the prediction. The robot has been slain. Overall, I would say the Ironclad run looked significantly more reasonable than the Silent run, which was completely, like, unplayable. Like, that was oof. Probably because the Silent deals damage in slightly more, like, unique and creative ways than Ironclad does, I guess. So if you build something that understands, like, the most basic way to deal damage, it does okay at picking Ironclad cards, but doesn't understand Silent cards at all. Can't wait to see how to evaluate orbs. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Let's find out. Echo form. Oh. It'll be interesting to see how it rates the Echo form upgrade. I bet you anything that's plus 0.03 plus 0.04. It likes Compile Driver. Compile Driver better than Beam Cell here. I'm on board. Oh, we got this one again. That's a very good second floor. I could just have that be my second floor every time. It thinks removing Echo Form's a significantly better option than removing Strike right now, which is probably, like, true at the moment. In fairness. In fairness to the machine. Did it say removing dual cast was +3? Did it really say that? Are you sure it didn't say -3? Echo Form is 3 energy. How do you even cast that? It's a fair question. Just draw it on turn 1 and don't get attacked every time. Apparently. If I leave the AI on and just play normally, will it learn? Not fast enough. Not fast enough. Let's grab a cold snap. Predicts 22 damage. I don't feel like I'm gonna take 22 damage, to be honest. I reshuffled already. Wow. The fact that the bot can't evaluate potion usage, it seems like a major flaw. Well, yeah, this thing is not. I mean, it's a fun project, right? It is a fun project, which is an excellent example of how when you tell a computer to do something, it does exactly what you told it to do, and not the thing that you wish that you told it to do. Problem is always working out how to ask the right question, and sometimes the right question takes like more time than exists in the entire universe to answer for a computer anyway. It's a good way to learn, is it? learn how to do the wrong thing. Alright, we got a sweeping beam here. And the game would like me to upgrade Echo Form. Oh, dual cast. It thinks that dual cast is an absolutely obscenely good upgrade here. I can potion. The potion doesn't do that much else in this act, so I think I'll use it now. It may not actually do that much in this fight either. Yeah, it did nothing. That's fine. Sometimes it saves us some health. The game likes boot sequence a lot. Boot sequence is the best card in the game. Has anything I've been offered been +3 before? I'm trying to remember. Immolate. Immolate was +4. Does anybody remember any other ones that were like that high? Cold Snap was pretty high. Cold Snap was pretty high. Removing disarm. Okay. A good point. Biased cognition at plus 1.29. So if I had been offered biased cognition and boot sequence last floor in the same pick, the robot would have made me pick boot sequence over biased cognition. I don't know if I would have been able to do that. You lose focus every turn. Huh. Is it bugged? Hold on. Hold on. I'll get in touch with the creator right now to ask about that one. The Monster Man. Thanks very much for the Twitch Prime. Agba Musho to you as well. I could have had 3 claws at this point, is that true? I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've seen one. Clearly a bug. Could be a bug. The game doesn't even understand that you can upgrade bias cognition, it looks like. But it likes the sweeping beam upgrade. Interesting that Echo Form upgrade went down in value. Wonder what caused that to happen exactly. I think I save Focus Potion for next act, probably. You think it factors ease of execution? I mean, yeah, it looks at the result on aggregate of players with decks like the one you're playing, so absolutely. It does not understand how to play perfectly, it just understands how people have played in the data set that it has. Which is another constant issue with stuff like this, right? Because you don't... In statistics, you have descriptive data and you have inferential data. So inferential data is data which you perhaps create with a double-blind study. Like some of you will probably have read about like medical studies where they collect some people and then they separate them into 2 groups, and one of the groups is given a placebo and one of the groups is given a drug that actually does something. So a placebo is a name for like a sugar pill or something, basically. It's a pill that looks like it's medicine but doesn't actually do anything. And then generally these studies are even double blind, so the researchers don't even know who's in which group, to try to remove all of the bias possible from this. And then the researchers like track how people perform over the course of like 3 months or whatever on the medication and see if one of the groups improves dramatically more than the other group, which is on the placebo. And then you can say, we have inferential data suggesting that this medication is good. There are still problems with using that data to make decisions. There are documented, incredibly like nefarious, documented constant problems with that method of using data to make decisions. This is like, this is not that right now. This is much worse. This is like, we have taken a bunch of people who play Slay the Spire, many of them incredibly recreationally, not even trying to play well. We have looked at how they've performed, and now we're going to try to use that data to infer the right treatment. If you go back to the medical study analogy, we're basically looking at just a random population of people who like going to a certain grocery store, and we're looking at all of our grocery store customers, and we're seeing which things they buy, and then we are predicting which food will make you the healthiest based on who buys what. And a study like that like may be able to work out that soda doesn't make you the healthiest, but it's also like generally going to find out that like luxury items make you healthier, because people who can afford luxury items can also afford health insurance, for example. You have all sorts of tremendous, ridiculous confounding factors going on. You'll have food products which advertise themselves as healthy, which aren't actually healthy, but because the people who care about food products which are healthy buy the food products which advertise as healthy, those food products are going to be consumed by people who are healthier. So you can't use data like this. It just doesn't work. For some reason I've removed Zap. I don't quite understand why. Alright. You're reminded of the ad that worked out some customer's kid was pregnant from the buying changes before the customer knew. Removing Echoform was better than removing Zap. Yeah, but I'm not removing Echoform. Get out of here. The game doesn't understand the bias cog upgrade. I'm just gonna upgrade it. The game seems not to understand a lot of defect upgrades. Mikasa Blacks, thanks for the 5 gifted subs. Appreciate it. It's possible to make a lot of predictions with data. It's a lot easier if you don't have to be right very often. Like, there are plenty of stories about data being used to make a correct prediction. And often they go hand in hand with a bunch of stories that don't get told about all of the wrong predictions that the data made. Inspiring Milk, how you doing? There was a study that said that owning a house made you healthy. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly the same sort of thing, right? Oof. Well, at least it understands that defect rares are shit. I want to show you something real quick. Hold on. I have to get paint out. So, apologies for the big white canvas here. Let's make it slightly less painful to look at. So let's say you have a system and there's one thing you're changing and you want to see what it changes to the output. So here our system is, resize this a bit. So we want to know, like, claw. Do I pick claw? And the thing I want to know is how that changes my win rate. So what we're doing is we're looking at data about, like, claw being index and not being index, and then we're trying to draw a conclusion about how claw will change your win rate based on whether you pick claw or not. And if this is the full system, that works fine, right? The problem is you have something called confounding variables in data. So for example, say you have another variable that is fun. Say this is a variable that describes whether a player is playing for fun or not. If a player is playing for fun, that's going to increase how often they draw claw, because claw is fun. And it's going to decrease how often they win, because winning is not fun. Well, it's fun, but it's hard to do when you're playing stuff just for fun and not focusing super hard. And so what that's going to do is it's going to mean that anytime someone does pick Claw, there's this relationship where it was more likely that they were playing for fun, so it's less likely that they're winning. And so this relationship is not a direct relationship anymore already. And this is a huge problem in very basic studies. You have tremendous problematic confounding variables which make your conclusion irrelevant. But in Slay the Spire, it's like Slay the Spire is one of the most complicated games. Practically speaking, it's a game which can't be solved. It's large enough that the solution for Slay the Spire would take up more space than we have access to. If you made a computer out of all of the mass in the universe, there would be no way for the computer to use all of the mass in the universe to keep track of the solution for Slay the Spire. The game's really fucking big. And so everywhere here, everything's pointing at everything else. Like, everything's a confounding variable. You can't do like a statistical inferential study on this because you can't remove confounding. This is why it doesn't work. This is why people don't learn to play chess by like doing an analysis of how everybody else played before, really. It's generally not a practical way to draw useful conclusions. And it's an important thing to understand because a lot of people who have studied machine learning haven't studied statistics. And it really is made painfully obvious sometimes. Hey, Linux. I wonder which one we're meant to take. What would the robot like us to take? How did a computer beat Go players? It was better at Go than them. The ways that computers tend to beat human players at games like Slay the Spire is they tend to learn to be better at the game than the humans, which is not something that a computer is going to do by looking at how humans play and trying to infer the best way to play from the human play. You have to teach the computer how to play this game and let it play the game for a long time and slowly build its own intuitions about what's right to do. So you can either use a neural network, which sort of tries to approximate a human brain a little bit. And when you look at neural networks playing games like chess and Go, one thing that people talk about is how they look like they have intuition, like humans have intuition. Or you can try to use like more of a brute force min-maxing algorithm. So something like that would be... So if you have chess, right? Chess has a game tree that, like, if this is the position here, you have a bunch of different moves. And how a min-max algorithm works is it looks at all the possible moves, and it tries to go further and further into the tree. So this is like, say this is 5 moves away, and we've got a bunch of different positions we could end up at 5 moves away. The min-max algorithm has some sort of analytical function which says, like, out of all of these moves... Whoops. That doesn't work because I didn't fill in the circle. Out of all of these moves, the analytical function says, like, this one's plus 0.6 points, and this one's minus 0.3 points or whatever. And what it does is it tries to trace a path through the tree where the white player in chess, we're talking about chess, I guess, the white player makes the best move It tries to find the node you can arrive at, with the white player always making the move that guarantees the best node possible for the white player, and the black player always making the move that guarantees the best node possible for the black player. So say we reach this position here. We reach this position here. If at this position here, the nodes over here are plus 0.07 and minus 100. Like, minus 100 is the better position for the black player to reach, but the problem is that if the black player goes here, then the white player is going to go here. And actually you ended up at plus 0.7 instead of plus 0.6. And min-max algorithms do a tremendous amount of computing here. One of the main things that's being done to improve them is they do node pruning, where they stop looking at certain positions so that they can use more computing power on other positions that they think are more important for whatever reason. And so some problems with min-maxing algorithms are, one, if for some reason this was actually the node you were meant to go to, and your pruning algorithm took you away from it, it will never reach this node. So min-max algorithms for chess can very famously fail to solve chess puzzles that are like 3 moves deep that human players who are okay at chess can solve pretty easily, but their node pruning algorithm won't let them look at the move that would win. That's one problem. Another problem is, in chess, like, these positions are mostly the same, right? 0.7 and 0.6 are like mostly the same. If you're playing against an opponent who's imperfect and might make this mistake, at which point you instantly win the entire game, it may be better to play that move, right? The min-max algorithm's understanding of what the best move is assumes that its opponent understands the exact same information that it does, which isn't necessarily true. I think that's true for the Monte Carlo type stuff as well. Anyway, that's how AI tries to be better than humans at games like this, but yeah. It tries. Okay. So if you're shit at chess, you can beat Stockfish Pog. No. Probably not. Probably not. I think the best human player can, like, draw against Stockfish 1 time in 100 or something at this point. Like, it's not very close at the moment. Maybe humans will get better. Let's pick this one. It seems fun. I know very much about AI and human chess teams. I know some things about AI and human chess teams. What are you wondering about? One thing about, like, matches between chess computers is, like, who's favored depends on computing power and all sorts of stuff like that, right? So I don't know. It always gets a little bit weird. What are some of the most valuable things to reflect on in terms of lost runs? I don't really work backwards like that. I would 1,000,000% be taking doom and gloom here without a second thought. I don't think it's even close. Wow, I'm fascinated. All right. So what I think is more useful is to learn as you're going, like have an understanding of what your deck's good at and what it's bad at, and then as you go through your run, sometimes that understanding will be challenged. Like, you'll go into a fight which you believed you were good at and then do very poorly in that fight, and that's your learning hook, in my opinion. At that point, you can try to work out, did you just get really unlucky this time, or was something wrong about how you were evaluating your deck's strength? I think that if you try to work backwards after the run, you often are gonna struggle to work anything out that's super useful. Too much hindsight stuff clouding your vision. Hey Nikaya, thanks for the 15 months. Hammer time, thanks for 4 months. I'll go Mosho Diabo. Ritual Dagger will carry the run. Ooh, it's thinking about liking Heat Sinks Plus. Not quite there though. Seems to like skipping cards on defect a lot. Yeah, SD, how you doing? So 2 big ways that chess engines are used in like Grandmaster chess is I'll just talk about one. One way that chess engines are used in Grandmaster chess is you use them for preparation for games. So if you think about a Grandmaster's knowledge of chess, they have a certain amount of preparation and understanding of positions which they can call upon themselves as they play a game of chess. And one thing you can do with chess engines is you can augment that to learn more and more and more over time, which people do. They like study openings with chess engines and stuff and slowly learn more and more stuff. And another thing you can do is you can learn hyper-specific knowledge about like one very particular position. And so if you're against someone who always leads to that position whenever they play, like they always play the same opening and go into the same place, you can just run your chess engine on that exact position. And then you can basically be the chess engine when you play against that person, if you just memorize enough of the moves. So a lot of Grandmaster chess, in terms of match play, is about tactically navigating the chessboard to reach a position where you have gotten to look at what a chess engine says about this position, but your opponent hasn't. Which is, I mean, not all of it, definitely not all of it. There's still a tremendous amount of like intuition required and knowledge and everything. The game really wants me to remove Ritual Dagger. Thinks that removing Ritual Dagger is plus 3.68 health per fight. I'm sorry, what? So you'll have situations, for example, where a human chess player is significantly stronger than their opponent. And so they will choose to go into positions which are basically not positions you would bother to study usually, because they're not like the best positions to go into, sorts of things. I'm not removing Ritual Dagger. That's just like, obviously it doesn't have enough information or something for that one. Let's take this. I don't know why I took that with Warped Tongues, but I did. And the point is that if you take a human player who you're significantly better than into a position that they've never looked at with a computer, you can just absolutely like destroy them at that point, right? But yeah, the general idea that there are things that people have studied and looked at with a machine and things that they haven't in chess is a big part of how people are playing chess. The computer thinks I'm gonna take 14 damage here. I think I might die, so let's see who's right. Maybe it's because some people get too greedy with trying to get a dagger kill and take more damage. There was a super famous example of that in Hearthstone. In Hearthstone, there are... I don't know if there are multiples, but there's at least one thing that will do an arena draft with you and tell you which cards you should take. And there was this really weird thing where there was a card that was strictly better. That Magic terminology, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there was a 2-cost 2/3, and then there was also a 2-cost 2/3 with an ability. And you were recommended to take the one without the ability over the one with the ability, even though the ability was strictly upside. And the reason was that human players overvalued the ability and tried to hold on to their... It was actually a 3/2, not a 2/3. They tried to hold on to their 3/2 creature to use its ability instead of just playing it as a 3/2 creature to kill stuff. There was one like that in MTG with Kicker. With Kicker would be a good band name, I think. The reason the engine likes upgrading Strike is because Upgrade All Strikes Defends event has a really high win rate. Sounds about right. We'll just upgrade all strikes and defends slowly by ourselves. Cool-headed, overclock, and static discharge. Apparently we're taking cool-headed. Prediction 6 damage. Prediction 6 damage. I'm sorry. Prediction 6 damage? What? Okay. I'm down. So that's 6 damage so far. Uh-oh. Hey, we didn't die. That's pretty good. I love that every defect card like makes your deck worse. Just like I have designed the most interesting character in the world. What does it do? Well, here's its starter deck, and you just keep that. It's best not to change it. Lucky. So basically Watcher, yeah, basically Watcher. Actually, you don't keep that. Removing dual cast was +3. Yeah, good point. Speaking of Watcher, I gotta run to the bathroom before I play this run. I will be right back. Alright. Maybe removing Echo Farm was good. Removing Echo Farm would have caused us to take less damage in Act 1. Which is what the thing that said we should remove Echo Farm meant when it said that. I think I generally agree with what it said. Prediction 1 damage. Actual. Oh, 7 damage. Rude. That's a pretty bad hand, right? That's the worst. Yeah. Whoops. I had to literally draw all 4 of the defense. You want an Empty Mind over a Sash Whip? Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Okay. Trusting the robot. Well, probably a pretty good Empty Mind after all that stuff just happened. Hey, Felter. Yeah, I shaved. Some of the hair is gone. Sort of miss it. Also, like, oh, I have that like 12 hours after shaving gross feeling on my skin, which is one of the large reasons that I just never shave. It wanted me to remove Eruption over Strike. Did it? Oh. Wait, did it? Wait. Oh, it did? Consecrate. Wrath does make you take more damage. That's a good point. Use a trimmer and never an actual razor. Yeah. I mean, I sort of do. Except for yesterday, when I didn't. Talk to the hand, minus a 0.18. Worship. Okay. Let's try to work this one out together. So, the reason that floor 6 worship looks like it's good is, I'm guessing, because you only ever have it if you boss swapped into Pandora's Box? Maybe? Maybe? That is completely insane that Talk to the Hand makes me take damage. Alright, well, worship. Let's go. The game would like to upgrade Conclude. Seems reasonable. How could Talk to the Hand possibly ever make you take damage? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that one. Well, I don't know. Worship was fucking awesome there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, Chad. The game tells me to do this, it tells me to do that, it tells me to take fasting now. Not sure why. Maybe if all of the enemies wait 3 turns. Yeah, exactly. Protect is completely believable as an option. Eruption upgrades plus 2.5. Best upgrade in the entire world. We meet again. Wait, I don't remember that person. What does it mean we meet again? So far, the AI seems to like a lot of things that the average chat player likes. Is anything for 37 months? On Momo show to you as well. Second fasting, easiest pick ever, apparently. I don't know. So do we play the fasting? Is that like the idea? Did we want it in play? We're not 100% sure. We'll put it in play. Really going Dreesign. Conclude over Deus Ex. Oof. So I feel like the Ironclad one did okay, and then the Silent one was completely, like, not close. Not even a little bit close. Which is perhaps, like, I don't know, maybe Silent's just tricky. The Defect seemed like mildly okay, at least at times. And then this Watcher, like, no. No, Watcher, no. Oh no. So this is not how we play Watcher. Skipping cards is 0-0, is my understanding. Settings, mod settings, mod settings, Slay Eye. What I want is, supposedly there is one that uses my dataset and one that uses Spire logs, or both? I think there might be like one that only uses my dataset. I'm just wondering if like the reason so many of the cards were plus 0.03, 0.04 is that I'm not having the Spire logs data and what's going on, but I don't know. I'm not sure. All of the screenshots for the article are Ascension 0. Sure. Providing average damage received in a fight to players helps them make the best possible choice at each decision node. That's it. Hey, Flight Rider, how are you?